Welcome back to Love Daniella, episode 15. I missed you guys so much last week. Last week was Thanksgiving, so I was just being present with my family, but I did miss you guys, and I'm so excited to be back. I have been go, LA, Nashville, Dallas. I'm finally back in Austin until Christmas. Thank God. And I decorated for Christmas. We're doing Vlogmas on TikTok, so if you want to see Vlogmas and what I'm doing every day, go check out my TikTok. Obviously, it'll be linked down below, but I decorated for Christmas and I'm getting in the festive mode. I'm also wearing a turtleneck today and I don't know how I feel about it. So if I look weird, let's not say anything about it. But yeah, it's been really good. I have been just trying to be very present, even though I don't do well with chaos. But I am excited to get back into my routine. I'm excited to grocery shop. I haven't been to the grocery store in like a month. I've ordered them when I come back for the few days because I have so much to do, but I want to go to the grocery store. So I think we're going to finally grocery shop and there's just lots to do. I'm excited to be back. So today we're going to be having a TMI chat. I'm going to be answering questions. I pulled up questions from the internet. I kind of want to do this every so often, like TMI chats, and maybe next time I'll do questions on my Instagram so you guys can ask me questions. But today we just looked it up on the internet, and so I'm going to answer those. And if you guys have any questions, maybe I'll answer it in the next one, and we'll do it every so often just because I love a TMI chat. I love questions that maybe you wouldn't normally ask someone, but you get their opinion on it. So I kind of pulled some fun ones, some juicy ones, but we're just answering juicy questions today. It's been a week off, and I forgot my highs and lows. Okay, that's what we do here. My high, seeing my family, seeing my mom. I'm obsessed with my mom, so anytime I get to go and spend a long period of time with her, obsessed. Also, there's construction outside of my apartment. I don't know what's been going on since I've been gone, but there's construction now. So if you hear beeping, sorry. My low, I got the flu or something. I was sick. Maybe I had like just a cold. I don't know. I also think I might have had a mini heart attack. Should I be going to the doctor? Yes. Am I uninsured right now? Also, yes. So thought I had a heart attack. Didn't want to go to the emergency room because that would be like $10,000. I love our system, but I did get insurance. It's going into January. So once I get my insurance, I'll check it out. But for now, we're just going to try to be safe. So those are my highs and lows. Now let's get into the questions. I have them written right here. So if you see me looking down, that is what I'm looking down at. The first one is, what is your biggest turnoff? My biggest turnoff is cockiness. I hate a cocky person. Like a turnoff in a friendship or relationship. Someone that's confident, sexy. Someone that is cocky, that thinks that their shit don't stink. I can't do it. I do not like a cocky person, but also on the other end, I hate an insecure person too. Like insecurity and being super insecure is a turn off for me too, friendship and relationship. Obviously everyone has insecurities, but if you're just like fully not confident in yourself at all, that's not a good trait to have. So I would say both. I think a middle ground, confidence, but not cockiness. But I hate a cocky person. So that is my biggest turnoff. Next question is, what age was your first kiss? And I had my first kiss when I was 16 and I had just turned 16. I actually, TMI, all of my firsts were when I was 16. My first time, my first kiss, my first sip of alcohol, my first smoke of the weed. It was all when I was 16. It was like I wanted to just check them off so I could just be done with the first, which is kind of sad. And I wish I waited on a lot of things, but that was the mindset I was in at the time. But I want to tell you guys about my first kiss because it was insane. And I thought that kissing was weird. And I was like, people like this. So I was 16. This guy asked me on a date. It was my first date ever, and we went to the Red Robin. So we got some food, and then we went back to his house and watched a movie in his living room. Mind you, his family was very, 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 like, strict religious. So I don't know what we were doing, making out on his couch, but he kissed me. And when I tell you, this boy sucked off my lips were purple when I went home. And he sucked them like a fish. And after we kissed, I was like, why do people like this? Why do people enjoy making out? Because I didn't like that. That kind of hurt. It kind of burned. Why did it burn? He gave me hickeys on my mouth because he was sucking. I don't know why and who taught him that, but I was sore confused when I got home. My lips were purple. I thought I had an allergic reaction from him. And then I later realized that it was just him and the way that he kissed. But yeah, so my first ever like kiss, make out, whatever, I did get hickeys all over my lips. So that was really fun. Okay, what was the wildest thing you got away with as a child? So, as I said, 16 were all my first. I think I was 17 though. I did do the acid. I don't know what I was doing in high school, but I did do acid, and I don't know how my brain isn't. It probably is a little messed up, but don't do acid. I did acid a handful of times in high school. It wasn't like a one-off. I did it like once every few months my senior year. I don't know what I was doing, but my friend group liked doing acid, and so we would just do acid on a random Saturday night. And yeah, that I don't know how I got away with that, because I remember my come down and then having to go home because whoever's house I was with, their parents were coming home, so I had to go back to my house and conversating with my mother while like kind of still in the effects of acid. So I don't know how I did that, how she never noticed. She knows now. But yeah, don't do drugs, kids, because what the hell was I doing at 17 years old doing acid? I had no business doing that. I used to go to raves and do acid. No business doing that. So I got away with it though. Which of your friends do you think will grow up to be the happiest? Obviously, I want all my friends, all my family, everyone to grow up to be the happiest ever. But for some reason, when I read that question, I thought of one person, and it's Riva. Like, I think that she's just going to be so happy. No one deserves it more than she does. And also, it's just, I think there's a specific type of person where when you just stop giving a crap about anyone, you kind of release the control of expectations. And I think Riva is very just like confident in who she is. And I think the people that have that confidence in themselves just like are the happiest, because you don't need anyone else to make you happy, because you're happy on your own. So I really think that Riva's going to be the happiest. I want her obviously to meet like the love of her life, a man, but I just think that whatever life throws at her, she's going to be happy. And I really hope for that. So yeah, I would say Riva. Love you. Biggest pet peeve. Okay, so I have this thing called misophonia, and it's when people are chewing loudly and noises and tapping and things like that. And I only really have it when it's forced upon me, if that makes sense. Like if I watch an ASMR video, perfectly fine. If I'm watching a mukbang and I'm hearing people chew, perfectly fine. But if I am sitting next to someone and they are chomping on their food, or someone in the group has gum and they are chomping mouth open on their gum, nothing makes me want to pull out my hair more than that. I don't know what it is. Like in class, when someone would be clicking their pen, it would send a rage through my body. So I guess it's like a pet peeve, but it's also like, I think it's a condition, but it is a pet peeve. Like I do not like when people make repeated noises. I can't do it. I can't get on board, and it really like it makes me like a mean person. Like I get mean. So that's my pet peeve. What are the qualities that make you a bad friend? I tried not to think about this because I kind of wanted to just think about it when I was answering the question. So I would say maybe me not letting people in. Like if I'm struggling, no one knows. If I'm like struggling mentally, struggling anyway, I don't really let people in. And I'm not saying that I have superficial relationships. Like I let people in after the fact. Like if I'm feeling sad and down, I'll be like, oh yeah, last month I was in the dump. But I don't ever really open up to people when I'm going through things. I just don't enjoy it. And so I think that's not a great quality, because I love when my friends let me in and kind of tell me what they're struggling with instead of just like going ghost. But I kind of go ghost. So that probably is not a good quality. But I think that probably makes me a bad friend. And also just like if I feel like we're growing apart, I have no problem with that. I think I've just accepted that, and maybe it's my childhood, like my abandonment issues, that like I just think that people come and go, and if you stick around, perfect and great, and if we fit into each other's lives at different moments, perfect, but if we don't, I'm completely fine with that and I'm at peace with that. So I feel like sometimes people think that I could be like heartless, but I just think that people sometimes serve a purpose in your life for a period of time, and some people are meant to be in your life for a long period of time or forever, and that's not everyone, and I'm so okay with that. And so I feel like maybe some people think that I don't try enough, but if I feel the distance, or if I feel like things are changing in not a good way or a positive way, I'm like so good with taking a step back. But that doesn't mean it's forever. Like, I'm okay with taking a step back, letting you live your life, me living my life. Maybe we're not at a point where we're connecting, but then years later, rekindling things. Because not everything has to be like, oh, we had a huge falling out, like, I don't like this person anymore. I just think that's so natural for people to go in phases and be super close to you at some point in life and then not be close to you at another point. I think that's just very normal. But I could see someone being like, she is heartless. This kind of ties in. When have you felt the most challenged? I think giving up on people, like completely, not like, okay, this person is kind of phasing out of your life and you guys aren't aligning, but fully giving up on someone, whether it's a friendship or a relationship, like realizing this person is not good for me mentally and having to shut the door and be the person to shut the door. I think because I have abandonment, giving up on someone like rips me to shreds and saying you're no longer good for me and I have to move on with my life is really hard for me to do. I have done it a few times in friendships and relationships, but it is a difficult thing for me. So I think that's probably the times in my life that I felt the most challenged, because me having a big heart, I just want to be there for people, but also me with my intuition and knowing what's good for me, I have to choose what's good for me. When was your first heartbreak? It was in high school, and it's so crazy how short of time can make you feel so heartbroken. But I dated my best friend in high school and we were banned from seeing each other. Maybe I'll go in depth on this one day, but we were banned from seeing each other like fully. He had a burner phone that I had to text, not from my side, from his side. My mom was not crazy. But yeah, so it was a really crazy relationship, and so I think that's why it felt so passionate, was because we were literally not able to see each other, and we would like sneak off and like meet at like a Dick's Sporting Goods just to like say hi, because we couldn't see each other in person and we went to different high schools. So yeah, that was like my first real love, but it was like my first heartbreak, because after a while it was just like, what is this? And yeah, and that was when I had depression. So like that was like an intense heartbreak, because I was like, I'm not gonna live without this person. But then I'm like, now I'm thinking back and I'm like, that was like a few months, maybe 6 months of a relationship. Am I okay? You know? But that's it. So it was probably like 2015. Also, to tie in that, what was your experience in high school like? Traumatizing. I would not go back. I would never put myself in that position again. It was just a really awful time in my life. When people say like those are your glory years, what are you talking about? I think it's just a very confusing time for people, because you're supposed to be making all these life decisions. What do you want to be studying in college? What college do you want to go to? What do you want to do with the rest of your life? There's so many decisions to make, and I had no will to live. And so it put so much pressure on me, where I'm like, I'm supposed to be planning my whole future and I don't even want to wake up tomorrow. Like, how was that going to make sense? So I think it can be a very confusing time and very lonely if you don't know what you want to do. Because I feel like all my friends' parents had kind of this timeline for them. So it's like, oh, well, my parents went to A&M, so I'm going to A&M. That's the school I'm going to be going for, and I'm going to be studying to be a nurse. And it's like, nothing sounded appealing to me. So I just went to community college in Austin and was like, I'll figure it out there, but I got to get out of my hometown to experience life. And then I dropped out. So yeah, wouldn't go back to high school. Scary. So if you're in high school right now and it feels like life is never going to go on and everything sucks. Just know that it gets better. I love my life, but I hated my life in high school. So there's so much more to look forward to. Favorite feminine products. Okay, I'm very passionate about this because I am so sensitive. I have a sensitive pH. Everything makes me feel funny down there. And I have found products that actually work. I'm also sensitive when it comes to sexual products. So these are my recommendations. For period products, I would say anything honey pot. They have unscented, but if you like a cooling sensation, they also have scented ones, but they're not synthetic fragrance. They are actually like eucalyptus, and it's actual eucalyptus. It's not something scented that way. So it does give like a cooling sensation. I personally don't love that, but if you have a really bad period and maybe it hurts down there, that is a great option. But honey pot, my favorite. When it comes to body wash and cleaning down there, also try to get something non-toxic that's not going to bother it. If you are getting something from Target that has loads of synthetic fragrance, it's gonna feel funny down there. So I love Necessaire. I love Attitude. You can still get something scented, but if it's not scented synthetically, it doesn't bother your pH. That was something that I was like, oh, I have to just use unscented soap. Like, that's so boring. You can still use scented things. They just can't be scented synthetically. So those are my two favorite brands. And then for protection, I really like Skin. That's the only one that has not bothered me. I want to find a more all-natural one, but a lot of all-natural ones are, what is the material? The type of material like that hand gloves are, I'm allergic to it. So it's really hard for me to find all natural that also are latex. That's what I'm looking for, that are also latex free. So I use Skin. It's like SKYN, I think. Beautiful, perfect. Just in case you needed to know. I'm trying to think what else. I always have a heating pad. Heating pads are the best for periods. And they also have from Cora, they have ones that you can, it's like a sticky one that you can put in your pants and wear it throughout the day. So if you have like a job to go to, luckily me, if I'm having a really bad period day, I can sit on my couch with my heating pad and work on my computer and be fine. But obviously not everyone has that luxury, and I'm aware of that. And I used to have awful periods and work a 9 to 5 and be in my deathbed. So they have little sticky things that are like the cool patches, the cool hot patches, and it warms up on your stomach, and those are game changing for if you have to go out into life while having really painful periods. So those are all my feminine product must-haves. Next is rank your love languages. I'm trying to think what there is. There's 5, right? I think the first one would probably be quality time. Something about quality time just makes me feel so loved if someone is actually spending time with me and wants to see me. Because quality time, it's different if someone's always around you and you're just sitting next to each other on the couch working. That's not quality to me, but someone that like wants to hang out and do things, quality time, number 1. Number 2 is acts of service. People that do things without being told. Like, I feel so loved in my relationship when my boyfriend does things without me having to ask. Like, I cooked you dinner, or I took out the trash while you were gone, and like kind of like help me out. Something about that, I'm like, they love me. So I'd say that's number 2. Number 3, what am I missing? I'm missing gifts, affirmations, and what's the last thing? 1 second. Love languages. Let's Google what they are, because I feel like I'm definitely missing one, but I obviously probably is low on my list if I'm missing it, right? The love languages are, physical touch. Okay. So 1 is, what did I say? 1 is quality time. 2 is acts of service. I would probably say 3 is physical touch. I don't love a lot of physical affection, but time and place. If you're not touching me, I don't feel loved. So I would say physical affection is 3. Then words of affirmations. I'm big on, you can say things, but I want to feel them. So I don't feel like I'm super big on that. Obviously, you want to be told like you're beautiful and whatever, but you also want to feel that by your partner. So I don't feel like that's like very high on my list. And then 5 is receiving gifts. I'm not big on gifts, like I don't really care, but if they're thoughtful, then I really like them. But I think to be in a good relationship, you kind of have to do them all. Like, I don't think there's like, oh, you don't have to do gifts, or oh, you don't have to do like compliment me or anything. I think you have to do everything in a relationship, but my top one is definitely quality time. How many kids do you want? So I want 3, and I know people always think that's such a weird number because everyone loves an even number, like 2 or 4. 2 was too little for me. I grew up with just a sister, and I wish there was a third. Not saying my sister wasn't enough. I just was always like, oh, I wish I had another sibling. Like, I think 3 would be so fun. I also love in a friend group 3s. A throuple friend group makes me so happy. 4 seems overcrowded. 3 seems perfect. I love having a friend group with just me and 2 other people. I love that. So I would say 3. I wouldn't be opposed to 4, but 3 just feels better to me. So 3. Okay, this is my last question. How would you describe your childhood home? So physically, super cool, super fun. My mom was so, like, she didn't care about things. Everything was like, everything's replaceable. We had a purple couch. We had animal print everywhere. Like, she had a rug that was tiger print. She had elephants, and it was so fun, but it was each part of the room. So like the living room was all animal print. We had like a black velvet couch like this, and then all animal print. Super, super cool. And then the purple couch was in kind of like the great room, like that like little side room. It was that with a piano and like so many fun little things. And then we had, I feel like it was like a floral kitchen type of vibe, like very floral. And then me and my sister's room, we both had purple carpet. I don't know if you guys ever had colorful carpet or if you've ever seen that, but we had purple carpet, and I think both purple walls because we both like purple, I guess. And then we had another, and we didn't have like a big house. It was just so fun. Like, we had a small house in Florida, but she made it so fun that it was like magical. And then we had a guest room, and that one day, it's like such a vivid memory in my brain. It was a light like ballet pink, and she let us throw glitter on the wall, like silver glitter. So we would paint, and then we would, while it was still wet, we would take handfuls of glitter and just throw it on the wall or blow it. And we had a glitter wall for our guest room, and it was so cool. I thought it was so cool. It was also like the office, like her computer was in there. But I thought our house was the coolest thing, and I wish that I had more photos of it because we just had an iconic house. We moved so much in my childhood, but that's like the house that I feel like I like grew up in. And I wish it was still there, like how it was. That would be my favorite. So I would say that's how it is physically. Mentally, crazy. That was when my parents were still together. And was it toxic? Yes. Not gonna air their business out, but it was a toxic environment. They do way better apart, way better apart. So love it a lot more now, but back then it was crazy in my household. So let's just leave it at that. Okay, and that is everything. That was my last question. That was fun. I love answering questions. I want to answer your guys' questions. So if you guys have any questions TMI related, leave them down below. I will answer them for you in another video. And I have everything else linked down below. If you want it to be anonymous, I also have a submission page, and everything is anonymous. Like, you can type in everything's anonymous to me, and it's not public. So if you want to do that, you have a specific question, I have that. I think the first linked down below, and then all of my socials. So go follow the socials, go support. And I love you guys so much. I hope you had the best Thanksgiving if you celebrate, and I will see you next Tuesday. I love you.